music when you're at war than when you're at peace.
People would also like to see policies in this save and toggle the resource button on if you have a chance to do that.
I will for sure do that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this. All right, we wiped out the cannon. That's good because he was doing a lot of damage. So toggle the resources on. We can go ahead and look at the resource icons. So we can see that Osaka here had a lot of wheat around it, which is why I built him there. It got a 17 population. That is enormous. And it's because there was so much food over there. You can see a lot of the resources that I have. There's some spices and silver and gems. We can also go to my favorite view, strategic view. Now you can see it's starting to get a bit crowded in this view because there's an improvement on almost every tile and there's resources and units, which is why it's particularly useful to go, well, let's look at just the resources. They show us nice, huge icons. Makes it very easy to find where stuff is. If I had a worker that I was looking at trying to figure out where he should improve something, I can look around and see Osaka is surrounded by farms, and I can see where it's missing. For example, down here in New City, it's missing its improvements, so I've got workers heading down there to go take care of it. And then, of course, we can look at it in unit mode to see what units are here. There are also some interesting overlays in this view that let you see even more information quickly. So for example, I can use the passable terrain view to quickly, now there aren't a lot of mountains here, but the mountains are not showing green because you can't move over them. In an area where there are a lot of mountains, that one's more useful. But the unit combat type is a handy one. So I can also see at a glance, if I don't have these units memorized, I can see that this color means it's an archery unit, so it's a ranged unit. This color over here is for artillery, and this over here means a mounted unit. And so I can quickly look at here and kind of see what the state of this battlefield is a little quicker. So,
I have two more questions to break in with as you play, something to work in. First, who pays for roads when you're in neutral territory? And second, can you talk a little bit about embarking and have one of your units embark?
I'm about to have a unit embark, so I'll do that.
For who pays for units or for roads in neutral territory, the person who built the road pays for that, pays the upkeep for that particular road.
Okay, so I got my samurai here. He's walking over to the river, and because I have the tech that gives it to you, which is optics. Because I have optics, any of my units can now embark. There are no more transports in the game. All you have to do is simply walk onto the water, and it turns into a transport boat. So now my samurai is here on transport. Now I felt safe doing it here because he doesn't have any, well, he does have crossbowmen there, but if they moved here, it would end their turn, so he'll be safe. He can't get shot this turn. Well,
one important thing to note about embarked units is they do count wall on water as civilian units. So they will not fight back if they encounter an opposing military naval unit.
My trebuchet has got a promotion. Now this guy is an insanely high level. He's now got 150 experience. I've been doing a very good job, if I do say so myself, keeping him alive. So he has 3 accuracy improvements, which increases his combat strength against units in open terrain. He also has the ability to heal every turn, which has been tantamount in keeping him alive. So even if he attacks, he still heals. Plus I've got units around him with the medic improvement. It's making him heal even faster. It's making it very difficult to kill him. And so I'm going to look around. Well, I've never actually had a unit that high to see that promotion, but that is amazing. 1 additional attack per turn. I will for sure take that. So now my trebuchet can attack twice. He won't be able to next turn, or until next turn. And we'll move on. Oh, do they want to see the social policies?
Yes, they do.
I will open up that screen as soon as this happens.
Also, as a side note, the demo is coming out next Tuesday, day of release. And also another question, things are coming in pretty fast. You guys are super excited about this save, I see. How about random events, Gary?
They're no longer random events in Civ 5. One of the things that we found out when looking at random events is that players typically feel that when something random happens to them, they feel that the computer's cheating against them, so that if a random event happens and it to your detriment, it generally does not have the effect that you would think of it, and people generally find it's not an enjoyable experience. So we removed that from Civ 5, so you no longer have to deal with exploding volcanoes or nuclear plant meltdowns, for example.
They're taking bets on whether you're going to win or lose, but they say that you should calm down because I think they all saw you grab your hair.
I at home I have been a little more vocal when losing units. I have not been doing. I'm holding him off, which I'm pretty happy about because he's a whole tech level ahead of me. But because of the choke points, I'm able to. I believe I'm outplaying him in the tactical game, which is keeping me alive, but barely. I lost a samurai, so now I've got a surplus iron to use again. So I'm going to have to tell my capital to go make another samurai. My units are very weak here, but it looks like he's got less units coming, so that's good. I'm going to try to back up my units a tad because he is coming in with more, and that is a problem. I need to let them heal as best I can. And do I already have a medic promotion in this group? I do not, so I'm going to go ahead and give that to him. And, yeah. A lot of my cities. Let's get I like culture. Oh, I have a university now. I got that tech. Which gives me science for jungle. And since there's a ton of jungle around me, I will build that, so I can start getting that benefit.
They're telling you to protect your general.
My general is a bit open, but he's actually fairly protected here. Because there's rivers here. Rivers, he could not come from this, you can't see where I'm moving the mouse, but he couldn't come from this direction because it would end his turn to cross over the first river, and then end his turn again to cross over the next river. So I have very advanced warnings there. Unless he came in with a scout, which can't hurt me. The worst he could come from is about right here. With this little, yeah, he could come from about there. But most units are only going to be able to come 2 squares to here, and I have not seen him use any mounted units, so I'm fairly confident that's okay. So if he does happen to come down here and start blitzing my general, I'll be able to run him back behind. I could even risk Monaco being a bit mad at me for trespassing temporarily to get away from my attackers, which I would consider an acceptable sacrifice, and Monaco will just have to get over it.
And I'm just going to break in and answer a couple questions that I've seen. There isn't stacking of units. This is 1 unit per tile in Civ 5. There are a bunch of articles and features written about this. If you guys want an overview, tweet us afterwards and we can point you in the right direction. Also, there was... Shoot, I can't remember your guys' other question, so I'll let him take over while I remember.
One of the things I'd suggest doing is that, twofold, is talk to Monaco and bribe them to be your ally.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Spend it on patronage first.
I'm also going to break in with one quick announcement. We're not talking about the world builder and modability. Stay tuned on the site this week. We're going to have some really cool features coming out about that stuff. We will be talking about it, just not in this broadcast because there's quite a bit to talk about. Also, some people are asking if you have 2 weakened units, can you combine them together?
No, you cannot. But you can withdraw them and let them heal up. And that's one of the cool things about Civ 5 is that you can. It's really important and really cool to take your units forward through time and take care of each individual units, because in general in Civ 5 you have less units than you did in Civ 4, but each individual unit will be more valuable and more powerful, so you want to keep on to those, upgrade them and retain their promotions through time. So you take a single spearman unit, you start out with it in the ancient era, and all of a sudden it's a mechanized infantry in the future era.
So Monaco here, I need 60 influence if I want them to become my ally. 30 gets you to friends, they'll give me some benefits. If they're my ally, they'll actually go to war with people that I'm at war with. So I really want 60. Unfortunately, with 500 gold, I can only get 55 influence, which is very, very close. I don't quite have enough gold to reach 1,000, which would get me 120 influence. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go talk to some people that I've got a decent relationship with. First, I'll look at the aforementioned diplomacy overview and see who has extra gold. Oh. Just my luck, no one is holding extra gold right now except for Napoleon. So I was going to see what I could offer them for some of their gold. It looks like it's no rose garden over there either. So I will just go ahead and spend the 500 gold. And they are now my friends. And I think I can do another 250 to grab another 25 influence. That is almost all the gold I have. But they are now my allies at 80 influence out of 60. Their influence with me is going to drop at 0.75 per turn, And that is because I just adopted the social policy, which I went into this window while you were talking earlier. I just grabbed patronage. Patronage enhances the benefits of city-state relationships. So by adopting the tree, my influence will drop at 25% slower than normal. So that's going to make my gold my life savings, go a little bit further because it will take longer before they naturally degrade out of being my ally. So we can see over here on the right, I got some notifications that Monaco has now declared war on Napoleon, and Dublin declared war on Monaco as well because Dublin is Napoleon's ally. So that's great. They're now at war. They will at least be meat shields for my units. And maybe even Napoleon will divert some resources to try to take me Monaco. So it tells me that I'm now their ally. It tells me what that does. They're also cultured, so I got an increase of 6 culture per turn, simply because they are my ally now. So that is quite handy. So let's keep going through these turns. This 2 attacks per turn is officially my favorite promotion because it is amazingly powerful, and I can't wait until I can. Because one of the great things, you can upgrade units to their next tech level when you reach the tech and you want to spend the money. So that early units that get really high promotions can stay with you for a very long time. And so that trebuchet, for example, is my most valuable unit right now. And so it's very, very good to keep them upgraded.
Just breaking in, this is the second most difficult level of
Yes,
the game for
I'm
you guys
also
wondering.
playing Immortal in this difficulty, which is, I'm going to say, which is why I am being trounced so bad technology-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and move my uninjured samurai up here. And like I said, I was saving his promotions. Now I know that he's going to kind of hold this front on rough terrain. So I'm going to give him, he actually comes out with 30 experience, gives him 2 upgrades. I'm going to give him 2 upgrades for rough terrain to hopefully make him hold that a little longer while my other samurai sit back and heal a bit. Mounted units are great because they can move forward. They have so many units, they can scout a bit. Looks like there's nothing really there. I don't want to risk moving him too far forward, but I'll just leave him there. I told him to press spacebar to skip the rest of his turn. I'm moving this pikeman out that one of my other city-states, that Budapest granted to me because they are a militaristic city-state that I'm friends with. I have 96 out of 60 influence with them. And the other city-state that's helping me, the other reason I forgot to mention why I'm holding his choke point so well is because Vienna is here. They are my best friends forever. I have 220 influence out of the 60 necessary to be allies. That is because not only did I declare war on Napoleon to defend them originally, Napoleon took their city, I got it back, and it prompted me to have the option of liberating Vienna and giving it back. So even though the city-state was completely eliminated from the game, I was able to bring them back, which gives you a huge, huge, huge amount of influence, usually enough for at least half the game to have them be your ally. I decided that would be worth it because, hey, it's almost like having another city I don't have to pay any of the upkeep for, in some ways. It's not quite as good as having your own city, but having that ally is quite useful. So I'm going to try to get through this turn. Oh, another great general was born. Samurai have an increased chance of generating great generals, which is why I have 2 on the field, and obviously 1 built this citadel ways back. I don't actually have anywhere to put him, so I'm just going to save him in my city.
And people would like to know more about the city attack mechanic.
Okay. Well, I will foolishly push towards the city so we can at least see it. Because it looks like defense over here is dying down a little bit. I will get my samurai healed up just a tad, and then I will move them forward.
So while Greg sort of moves his units into position, in general in Civ 5, because you can't put more than 1 unit in a particular tile, cities now defend themselves. They have their own combat strength. They can strike out and attack nearby units. This combat going on. And you cannot capture a city until you've deleted its hit points, or you've overcome a certain amount of hit points that it has. And hopefully, if we can get close enough to attack a city, you'll see what that looks like.
I have another question. Are you guys allowed to redraw your cultural borders if they're encroaching on a neighbor or an ally or something like that?
No, you cannot, but one of the cool special abilities of the Great Artist is the Culture Bomb, which will take any of the tiles that are immediately adjacent to that particular unit and add them into your empire. So you can quickly expand your empire with the use of a culture bomb.